fellow Shadows, welcome to another video, and just keep in mind The Lion King is my favorite movie of all time. I'm referring to the animated one. And I agree with people like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. This live action was not needed. To be honest, I didn't exactly want a live action Lion King movie. And at first I was adamant about not seeing it, because I was pissed off that Disney was making my favorite Disney movie and turning it into live action, which I don't know why it's called live action when there's no humans. The Jungle Book could come across of as live action, because it had Mowgli in it, which was a human, which, by the way, I've only seen like 3 Disney movies in theaters: Jungle Book, Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin. Jungle Book is literally my favorite live action movie. But yeah, I was saying, oh yeah, so I don't get why they call it a live action. More like a reboot is more a proper term in this case for The Lion King. But so then I also heard Can You Feel the Love Tonight? No, sorry. Just Can't Wait to Be King, Hakuna Matata, and Lion Sleeps Tonight. And I liked all 3 songs. I also listened to Be Prepared before going to the movie. And I said, I prefer the original version over this one. I'm not saying that that version is bad. I just prefer the original pre-prepared over this version. And before we get in any further, I don't feel like this video warrants a spoiler warning thing, because if you've seen the original Lion King, then you've seen this one practically. And you know how all live action goes. They will take a few parts out and replace it, or not replace it at all. But the story is still there. And so you know exactly what will happen if you've seen the original Lion King movie. And if you haven't, then prepare to get spoiled shit out of in this video. So going into this movie, I was not looking forward to one scene though. And this isn't because it's exactly bad or saying that the movie is bad. It's only because this scene is sad. And it's the stampede scene. Because when I saw... Because it was clear when the stampede scene was coming. And I was saying, oh shit. This is where Mufasa dies. This is the same scene where Mufasa dies. I'm not looking forward to this scene. And it's only because of it being a sad scene. Now, this kind of plays into what I'm going to say. My point I'm going to say. Simba's face in the original was so expressive you can see that he was scared. This version, Simba, you can't really see if he was scared, because they made him look so realistic to looking compared to like an actual lion. Yeah, I wanted to hold this Simba in my arms, because he looked like more like a stuffed animal. But to be honest, this isn't only towards Simba though. This is towards like the animals in general. More so the lions than any of the other creatures. The facial reactions weren't as expressive as they were in the animated movie. The most expressive face was Timon, which Timon and Pumbaa do steal the show, by the way. They literally do steal practically every scene that they're in. And I thought there was only a few things I liked better. I felt like this one made better than the original. Like with the Hakuna Matata song. Like when they were going to Pumbaa's past in the Hakuna Matata song. When they were saying, got so downhearted every time, alright? And Timon in the original stopped Pumbaa from saying farted, saying, not from the kids, and then Pumbaa said, oh, sorry. I liked how in this one they kept going saying, every time I farted, are you going to stop me? No, you disgust me. I don't know why, but I like how they decided one differently with that, and I liked it more than the original. I don't know. But, my, like, going into the songs, visually, the songs, like, if you hear the songs, they're awesome. Visually, it's not as great as the original songs, in my opinion, for the most part, because there are some parts, like, I'm going to use Just Can't Wait to Be King as an example, where Simba and Nala and Sasu stops, pretty much to have some dialogue in the song. This one, they pretty much kept going, which made the song not as powerful as it could have been. And that was... And as much as I loved hearing Just Can't Wait to Be King, like, while listening to it, the visual, that kind of made it that scene, that song not as powerful, you know, watching it. Pre-prepared, I prefer, like I said, prefer the original over this one, because this one also chants, and I'm not exactly saying it's bad, it's just, I like the original version better. The only song that I have a complaint to, like, major, is the Can You Feel the Love Tonight, and that's because the setting did not appear at nighttime, it appeared at daytime, and one of my subs on my channel, when I reviewed this, said, well, the sun was setting, but you can, but to be honest, you can still see the sunlight. In the original Lion King, you can tell that it was taken at nighttime, because you didn't really see the sun in the song. And you get the same sense in the Lion King musical, in a celebration of the Lion King, which is at Disneyland, the Disney parks, in the Animal Kingdom. And this one, just felt like it was at daytime to me. So it kind of hurt this version song. Oh, this version of Can You Feel the Love Tonight for me. Because now whenever I hear that song with Donald Glover and Beyonce in it, all I can think of is, okay, there is, it's Can You Feel the Love, but it's more like at dawn than anything, which is not exactly nighttime. So that's my only complaint about that song, really. Let's talk into the voice acting. I mean, I always said I'd give kids an easier time than teens/adults. So with that said, for my kid standards, the people who played young Simba and not young Nala, excuse me, were pretty decent. They weren't bad. Yeah, could have done a better job, but they weren't exactly bad for kid standards. But the voice acting, though, with like all the other voice acting, at times felt rushed. Felt compared to the original, emotionless. And like I said, for the faces, it wasn't as expressive as the original, or that it could have been. And I was expecting the most out of James Earl Jones, because he was the only one from the original to come back. He was the only original Lion King actor to come back into this role, so I was expecting the most out of James Earl Jones. And I love the actor. He is one of my favorite voice actors of all time. He played two of my favorite characters in general, Mufasa and Darth Vader. And I expected a lot from him, like more than I did from the other actors. But yeah, and I did expect any singing from him, but still. And to be honest, some of his lines in the live action movie felt seemed flat, especially if you're going to compare it to the animated movie. Like, all due respect to the guy, I liked his voice acting better in the original Lion King movie because it was more expressive, and I felt the emotion more than this one, and not only towards Mufasa, but in general. And a lot of the lines in the original landed better than the one in live action, to be honest. Or I don't know why I'm saying live action. It's reboot. And I mean, they took out my favorite Rafiki part, which is a squash banana. Yo, I mean, they still got that overall scene. Just they took out that part. I kind of missed that because that scene, yeah, Rafiki was wise, but he was also goofy. And in this version of The Lion King, he was more serious. And I didn't really like that all too much. Hence, yeah, they had Mufasa have more lines in the cloud scene. But even if we're going to talk about that scene, I don't like what they did with how Simba said, okay, I'm going to bounce back right after in this one. Because in the original, you know how Rafiki said, oh yes, the past can't hurt, but can either learn from it or run from it. They didn't have Rafiki saying that line either, and I was mad. Because, you know, that was like a really powerful moment for Simba. But at the same time, that was like one of my favorite Rafiki parts too. And they took it out, and like, why? And Simba and Nala, when they see each other again in the Oasis, in the original, Nala was kind of in disbelief, saying, Simba, is that really you? In this one, Simba and Nala said, Nala? Simba? Okay, we're gonna accept it. We're not gonna ask any questions. That scene was kind of felt rushed. That little book that we seen just the mouse we see just the beginning of the movie in the original, where Scar plays with. Yeah, that scene was longer. That mouse gets more screen time. Let's talk about Scar with the voice acting. At first, his voice acting, the actor for Scar, was, even though I get that he was trying to go for a sinister thing, but it kind of seemed boring. And then, once the Be Prepared Chantra happened, which I refuse to call that song because it's more like a chant than a song, I felt like that's when his voice acting improved. And to be honest, and keep in mind I kind of give kid actors more slack than adults, I feel like that actor who plays Scar had the most progression in acting in the movie. Granted that, yes, I still stand by that Timon and Pumbaa still the show, because they're the goofiest, and the voice acting was spot on. But Scar, like, in terms of who improved the most, in terms of the acting throughout the movie, I have to give it to Scar. No doubt. But, yeah, and then they took out Mr. Pig. They took out the Mr. Pig part, which was, like, that was my favorite part, and I'm mad that they took it out. James Favreau is one of my favorite directors and actors. He directed, I believe it was the Iron Man trilogy. I know he directed at least one. I think it was Iron Man 2 he directed. And he also did The Jungle Book, which I liked the Iron Man trilogy. I liked The Jungle Book, the live action. I always said the live action Jungle Book is my favorite live action Disney movie. But they should have kept the squash banana part in the movie. They should have kept the part where Rafiki said, "Oh yes, the past can hurt, can it? But the way I see it, you can either learn from it or run from it." And they should have kept the uh uh Mr. Pig part. Now they didn't have the luau scene. They kind of replaced it with another scene that was a reference to another Disney movie, and it was great. I wasn't mad about them taking away the luau scene when, Timon is that low skirt and Pumbaa has that apple in his mouth, and the diversion scene. So Simba and Nala can go into Pride Rock. I wasn't upset, per se, that they took that scene out, the skirt part out, because the way they did the distraction scene in this movie was pretty decent. I do like how they showed Nala sneaking out of the Pride Lands. That was a nice add-on, in my opinion. And I do like how they didn't have Scar exactly being the hyena's leader off the bat. Because in the anime movie, they had Scar being the hyena's leader off the bat. In this case, Let Be Prepared scene, he had to earn that leadership. Of course, you all know that he gets killed by the hyenas just the end of the movies, but I like in this one, he has to earn that leadership besides saying, "Hey, yeah, I'm our leader, deal with it." That was another great part to them. And, yeah, overall, I like the original version better. I feel like the original version did more things right than the live action did. And granted that there's a few things where I do like what the live action did over the original, but overall, like I said, I feel like the original did more things right. And The Circle of Life was a shot-by-shot remake of the original, so you definitely seen the. If you've seen the original Lion King, then you've seen how the Circle of Life visually is. So I'll give this like about 7 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10. I mean, Lion King will always be my favorite Disney movie of all time, and like I said earlier, did not want a rebooted version in live action form. Uh, and I was resistant at first, but I'm kind of glad I seen this movie so I can, only because now I have a peace of mind of okay where I stand in the live action, and to be honest, where I stand in it is it's not the worst movie I've seen exactly, because there's like that stupid Star Wars Holiday Special, but it's not the best movie I've seen, especially out of the live actions. And the only live action movie for Disney I'm looking forward to really is Mulan, which I'll gladly make another video if you guys want me to explain why I'm looking forward to the Mulan live action movie. But yeah, like I said, I am not excited for. I mean, I didn't exactly hate it, The Lion King, as much as some people do, because some people says that they feel like the live action Lion King ruined The Lion King. I don't dislike it that far. But I don't love it like some people do, which is it's overshadowed by the people that dislikes it. I'm kind of like neutral in in it. I don't exactly hate it. I don't exactly love it. I'm like okay with it. If that makes sense. Anyways, what do you guys think about the entire Lion King movie? Do you guys hate it? Dislike it? Leave a comment below. And I'm only saying this line because James Earl Jones was in it and he played Darth Vader in Star Wars. May the Force be with us all.